Why calm, silent men are the most attractive. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic Psychology. In a world that never stops talking, never stops showing off, and never stops demanding attention, there is something quietly powerful about the man who does not rush to speak. He does not announce himself. He does not chase validation. He does not explain his worth. And yet, when he enters a room, people feel it. Women notice it. Men respect it. This video is about that man. The calm, silent man. The one whose presence speaks louder than words. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood this better than anyone. He ruled an empire not through noise but through restraint. Not through ego but through control. Today, we uncover why calm and silent men are naturally more attractive, more respected, and more powerful. Not by pretending, but by becoming. This is not about manipulation. This is about mastery. Mastery of emotion. Mastery of self. Mastery of presence. Once you understand this, you will never see silence the same way again. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true strength is not loud. It does not demand to be seen. It simply is. Calm men do not compete for attention, because they already possess something far more valuable: inner order. While others react emotionally, explain themselves endlessly and seek approval, the calm man observes. He listens. He chooses his words carefully. This alone creates mystery. And mystery is one of the most powerful forces of attraction. The human mind is naturally drawn to what it cannot immediately read. Silence creates space, and in that space, people project value. They assume depth, intelligence, confidence. The calm man does not try to impress, and that is exactly why he does. Part 1 begins with understanding why calmness signals dominance at a psychological level. The nervous system does not lie. When a man remains calm under pressure, he signals safety, control, and leadership. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, and the weight of an entire empire, yet he trained himself to respond with reason instead of emotion. Modern life may not be a battlefield, but the same principle applies. When a man stays composed while others panic, complain, or seek reassurance, he naturally rises above them. People trust him more. They follow him more easily. Women feel more secure around him because calmness communicates that this man can handle chaos without becoming chaotic himself. Attraction is deeply tied to emotional stability. Loud men often mistake noise for confidence, but excessive talking, bragging, and emotional outbursts usually signal insecurity. Calm men do not need to prove anything. Their relaxed posture, steady voice, and controlled reactions create an unconscious message. I am grounded. I am not threatened. I am in control. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should not be disturbed by what is outside his control. This mindset naturally eliminates desperation, and desperation is the fastest way to kill attraction. Silence also forces others to lean in. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. People pay attention because they know you do not speak without reason. This is why leaders, judges, and respected figures often pause before they speak. That pause is not emptiness. It is authority. The calm, silent man understands that not every thought deserves expression. He allows others to reveal themselves first. He gathers information. He stays centered. In social situations, this creates an imbalance of investment. Others talk more, reveal more, and subconsciously feel more drawn to him. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that other people's actions are not his responsibility. This mental discipline is rare, and rarity increases value. When a man does not react to provocation, teasing, or disrespect, he demonstrates emotional immunity. This does not mean weakness. It means strength so solid that it does not need to respond. Women are especially drawn to this trait because it suggests long-term stability. Calm men do not explode. They do not chase. They do not beg for attention. They remain steady, and steadiness is magnetic. Part 2 goes deeper into why silence creates mystery, and why mystery fuels attraction more than looks or words ever could. The mind fills gaps automatically. When someone overshares, explains everything, and exposes every emotion, there is nothing left to discover. But when a man speaks selectively, listens more than he talks, and keeps his inner world guarded, he becomes intriguing. People wonder what he is thinking. They sense depth. They want to understand him. Silence becomes a canvas onto which others project intelligence, wisdom, and confidence. Marcus Aurelius practiced inner dialogue rather than outer display. His journal, Meditations, was never meant to be seen by others. That alone tells us something powerful. The strongest men refine themselves in private. They do not perform growth for applause. This private discipline shapes a presence that cannot be faked. When a man is comfortable with silence, it shows he is comfortable with himself. That comfort is rare in a world addicted to distraction. Silence also protects emotional energy. Every unnecessary argument, explanation, or reaction drains a man's power. Calm men conserve their energy. They choose where to invest it. This creates a sense of purpose and direction. People are naturally attracted to those who seem internally organized. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should move through life as if guided by an inner compass, rather than external noise. This inner alignment manifests outwardly as calm confidence. When a calm, silent man speaks, people listen. His words are measured, thoughtful, and intentional. This contrast makes his voice stand out in a sea of noise. Attraction is often about contrast. Loudness is common. Calmness is rare. Emotional chaos is everywhere. Emotional control is scarce. The silent man becomes memorable because he is different. Not by trying to be different, but by refusing to be dragged into the constant emotional turbulence of others. By the end of this video, you will understand that calmness is not passivity. Silence is not weakness. They are strategic strengths rooted in Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius did not teach men to withdraw from life, but to engage with it from a place of inner stability. Calm, silent men are attractive because they are anchored. They are not shaken by opinions. They are not ruled by impulse. They move with purpose, speak with intention, and carry an invisible authority that no amount of noise can replicate. Part 3 explores why calm, silent men are perceived as high value in social and romantic dynamics. Human beings instinctively evaluate status without realizing it. We observe how someone reacts to stress, how much they seek validation, and how emotionally available they are to everyone around them. A man who is constantly talking, explaining, and trying to be liked unconsciously signals that he needs approval. A calm man signals the opposite. His silence suggests that his value is already established internally. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man's worth is measured by the quality of his thoughts, not the volume of his words. When a man is selective with his attention and energy, people assume he must be important. Scarcity creates value. This is not a tactic. It is a natural psychological response. Calm men do not rush to fill silence, because they are not afraid of it. Most people fear silence because it exposes insecurity. They speak to avoid discomfort. The silent man is comfortable sitting with stillness, which shows emotional maturity. In conversations, this makes others feel slightly off balance. They begin to invest more, talk more, reveal more. Attraction grows in that imbalance. The person who is less reactive often holds more power. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to pause before reacting, reminding himself that he always has control over his response. That pause is what separates boys from men. There is also an element of unpredictability that silence creates. Loud men are easy to read. You know what they think, what they feel, and what they want because they announce it constantly. Calm men are harder to decode. Their emotions are not displayed on the surface. This unpredictability creates intrigue. Women are especially drawn to men who are emotionally steady yet not fully transparent. It feels like depth. It feels like strength beneath the surface. The calm man does not chase connection. He allows connection to come to him naturally. Part 4 focuses on emotional discipline and why it is the foundation of attraction according to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius understood that emotions themselves are not the problem. Losing control to them is. A man who can feel deeply without being ruled by those feelings becomes extremely attractive. He does not lash out when disrespected. He does not collapse when rejected. He does not become arrogant when praised. This emotional consistency creates trust. People feel safe around him because they know what they are getting: stability. In relationships, emotional chaos destroys attraction faster than anything else. Mood swings, jealousy, insecurity, and constant reassurance seeking drain desire. Calm men avoid this because they regulate themselves internally. They do not look to others to stabilize their emotions. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that no one can harm his inner state without his permission. This mindset creates independence, and independence is magnetic. When a man does not emotionally cling, he becomes more desirable. Calmness also sharpens perception. When you are not constantly reacting, you see more clearly. You notice patterns in people's behavior. You understand what is being said beneath the words. The calm man listens more than he speaks, and this gives him insight. Insight leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better outcomes. Over time, this compounds into success. People are drawn to those who consistently make wise choices, because wisdom signals long-term survival and leadership. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should live in alignment with reason, not impulse. This does not make him cold. It makes him dependable. Dependability is deeply attractive, especially in a world filled with emotional volatility. The calm man becomes a psychological anchor. Others feel grounded around him. His presence lowers tension instead of increasing it. That alone sets him apart from the majority. Part 5 reveals why calm, silent men naturally command respect without demanding it. Respect cannot be forced. It emerges when people sense inner strength. Calm men do not assert dominance verbally. They do not interrupt. They do not argue unnecessarily. They do not raise their voice to feel powerful. Instead, their authority comes from self-command. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he consistently reminded himself that true power begins with ruling one's own mind. This principle applies everywhere. In leadership, relationships, and daily life. When a calm man sets boundaries, they are taken seriously because he does not set them emotionally. He does not threaten. He does not explain excessively. He states his position once and stands by it. This clarity earns respect. Silence also allows disrespectful people to expose themselves. While they overreact, insult, or try to provoke, the calm man remains steady. Observers instinctively side with the one who is composed. Emotional control wins social battles without fighting them. Calm men also recover quickly from setbacks. They do not dwell. They do not complain publicly. They adjust and move forward. This resilience is attractive because it signals competence. Marcus Aurelius faced loss, illness, and betrayal, yet he trained his mind to return to balance again and again. That ability to reset emotionally is rare. Most men carry frustration, resentment, and anger wherever they go. The calm man releases these burdens. He travels light, and lightness makes him more approachable, more respected, and more desirable. By understanding these principles, it becomes clear that calmness and silence are not passive traits. They are active disciplines. They require awareness, restraint, and inner work. Calm, silent men are attractive not because they are trying to be mysterious, but because they have mastered themselves. And self-mastery, as Marcus Aurelius showed, is the highest form of power a man can possess. Part 6 focuses on how calm, silent men create a powerful presence that speaks before words ever do. Presence is not about size, volume, or dominance. It is about how grounded a man is within himself. When a man is internally settled, his body language changes naturally. His movements become slower and more deliberate. His eye contact becomes steady, not searching for approval. His posture relaxes without collapsing. These subtle signals communicate confidence at a primal level. Marcus Aurelius understood that the body follows the mind. When the mind is disciplined, the body reflects that discipline without effort. Most men leak nervous energy through constant movement, talking, or reacting. Calm men contain their energy. They do not fidget to relieve anxiety. They do not rush to respond out of fear of being ignored. This containment creates density. People feel it even if they cannot explain it. It is why a calm man can sit silently in a room and still draw attention. His presence feels intentional. Silence, in this case, becomes a form of communication. It says, "I am comfortable here. I do not need to perform." Marcus Aurelius trained himself to act without complaint and speak without excess. This internal code of conduct creates congruence. What a calm man thinks, feels, and does are aligned. There is no internal conflict spilling outward. This alignment is rare, and rarity increases attraction. When a man's words match his actions and his actions match his values, trust forms automatically. People relax around him because there is no emotional unpredictability. Calm presence stabilizes environments rather than destabilizing them. Part 7 reveals the deeper reason calm, silent men remain attractive over time, while loud men fade. Attraction that relies on performance requires constant effort. It must be maintained. It is exhausting. But attraction rooted in character deepens with age. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should become better quietly, letting time reveal his worth. Calm men invest in themselves rather than in appearances. They develop patience, discipline, and perspective. These qualities compound over years, making them more valuable, not less. As life becomes more complex, people seek those who simplify, not complicate. Calm men bring clarity. They do not add drama to situations, they remove it. This makes them desirable partners, leaders, and friends. Their silence is not empty. It is intentional. They know when to speak and when not to. They do not fear being misunderstood, because they are secure in who they are. This security is deeply attractive, because it cannot be shaken easily. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that fame, praise, and attention are temporary. What lasts is the quality of one's character. Calm, silent men live by this truth. They are not chasing attraction. They are becoming the kind of men attraction naturally follows. They do not need to announce their strength. It reveals itself through consistency, restraint, and composure. As this video comes to an end, remember this. Calmness is not something you act out. Silence is not something you force. They are the result of inner order. When you master your reactions, you master your presence. When you master your presence, people feel it. In a noisy world, the calm man stands out without trying. In an emotionally chaotic world, the silent man becomes a refuge. Marcus Aurelius showed us that the greatest power a man can develop is power over himself. When you stop reacting, stop explaining, and stop chasing validation, something changes. You become heavier. You become grounded. You become undeniable. Calm, silent men are attractive not because they are mysterious, but because they are whole. And wholeness, above all else, is what draws others in without a single word spoken.